Welcome to Mother Cluckers. My name is Debbie. For many years, people believed that eating eggs, especially the yolks, was bad for your heart. You may have heard someone say, don't eat too many eggs, they'll raise your cholesterol. This idea became a kind of health rule that stuck around for decades. But where did that belief come from, and is it actually true? The truth is, this egg cholesterol myth started back in the mid-1900s during a time when researchers and doctors were just beginning to understand heart disease. In the 1960s and 70s, heart attacks were on the rise, and scientists began looking closely at the role that fat and cholesterol played in heart health. It is true that eggs contain cholesterol, especially the yolk. One large egg has about 185 milligrams of cholesterol. Early studies found that high levels of cholesterol in the blood were linked to an increased risk of heart disease. So naturally, people thought that eating high cholesterol foods like eggs would lead to high cholesterol in the blood and therefore raise the risk of heart problems. This made sense on the surface, but it turns out the body doesn't work that simply. We now know that dietary cholesterol, the kind you eat, doesn't affect your blood cholesterol nearly as much as we once thought. Most of the cholesterol in your body is made by your liver and not absorbed directly from food, and your liver produces more or less cholesterol depending on what you eat. So if you eat more cholesterol, your body will often produce less to balance it out. And if you eat less cholesterol, your body may produce more. This is called cholesterol regulation, and it's one of the body's natural balancing systems. The real issue for most people is not the cholesterol in food. It's the types of fat in the diet, especially trans fats and too many saturated fats. These are the things that have a much stronger impact on raising your LDL cholesterol, which is considered the bad kind. Over time, better research methods led to more detailed studies. Scientists began separating foods from the overall cholesterol numbers and looking at how specific foods, like eggs, actually affected people's health. And what they found surprised a lot of people. Large population studies showed that moderate egg consumption, about 1 egg per day, is not associated with an increased risk of heart disease in healthy people. In fact, some studies even found that eggs can be part of a healthy diet, heart-healthy diet, because they contain important nutrients like high-quality protein, vitamin B12, vitamin D, selenium, choline, which supports brain health. Plus, farm-fresh eggs from backyard chickens or pasture-raised hens often contain higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which are actually good for your heart. So why did the egg myth stick around for so long? Part of it was fear. Heart disease became the leading cause of death, and people were desperate to do whatever they could to reduce their risk. When cholesterol became the main suspect, anything that contained cholesterol, like eggs, got pushed into the danger zone. Another reason was the way information was shared. For years, nutrition guidelines focused more on simple messaging than scientific accuracy. It was easier to say avoid eggs than to explain how dietary cholesterol doesn't always equal high blood cholesterol. Food companies also jumped on this message, creating a wave of cholesterol-free products and egg substitutes, which seemed healthier at the time, but were often more processed and less nutritious than real eggs. It's also worth noting that not everyone processes cholesterol the same way. There are people called hyper-responders who may see a small rise in blood cholesterol when they eat a lot of cholesterol-heavy foods. But even then, the increase is usually in both LDL and HDL, the bad and the good cholesterol, so the overall balance doesn't shift in a dangerous way. Today, most heart and health organizations, including the American Heart Association, agree that eggs can be part of a healthy diet for most people. The key, as always, is moderation and balance. A couple of eggs in the morning with veggies and whole grains is very different from eating eggs with greasy bacon, fried potatoes, and buttered toast every day. So what does this mean for people with backyard flocks or those who eat farm-fresh eggs regularly? You can feel confident that eggs from your hens are not only safe but actually full of nutrients your body needs. And because you know how your chickens are raised, you're likely getting even more health benefits, less stress, better feed, and no factory farming practices. In the end, the myth that eggs are bad for your heart is one of those outdated ideas that stuck around far longer than it should have. It's a reminder that science evolves and that what we believe today might be reshaped tomorrow by better research and a deeper understanding of how the body works. If you're lucky enough to have your own backyard flock, your eggs are often even healthier than store-bought ones. Why? Because your hens aren't living in crowded commercial barns. They're out in the sunshine, scratching in the dirt, eating bugs, greens, and kitchen scraps. They're less stressed, more active, and often exposed to a more natural lifestyle, and that has a real impact on the quality of their eggs. Studies show that eggs from backyard and pasture-raised chickens can have less saturated fat, high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for your heart health, more vitamin A, vitamin E, and beta-carotene, and sometimes more vibrant yolks, a sign of a richer nutrient profile. Your hens are producing real food the way nature intended. No bleach, no chemical washes, no months in cold storage, just fresh, wholesome eggs laid with care. Each egg from your coop is a little gem of nutrition, and when you crack one open, you know where it came from. You know what the hen ate, how she lived, and how she was treated. That's something money can't buy in a grocery store. So, not only are eggs not bad for your heart like people once believed, the ones from your own chickens may be some of the best, most nourishing food you can eat. They're simple, honest, and full of life, just like the hens who lay them. And when you gather eggs from your coop each morning, you're not just collecting breakfast, you're collecting years of tradition, the results of good care, and a reminder that some of the healthiest things in life are right in your own backyard. So crack them open with confidence. You're doing something good, not just for your body, but for your birds, your home, and your health. So if you love eggs, especially from your own flock, go ahead and enjoy them. They're not the heart health villains they once were made out to be. In fact, they're little powerhouses of nutrition wrapped in a shell, waiting to nourish you with every bite. Just like with anything, it's all about balance, variety, and being informed, not fearful. As always, we thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.